Hello everyone, it's Sandra here and we are looking in on Eat My Shorts. Did I feed my worms too much? It's only been 3 days since I added some food scraps to this bin, even though I was still seeing those 2 halves of an avocado still being consumed by the worms. I featured Eat My Shorts in my Worms Love Avocados video, and I came in here to feed Eat My Shorts. The worms were still eating the avocados. I fed them anyway. So it's been 3 days later. It's a good idea to check back in because you never know what these worms are going to do. I want to see, is the material going a little anaerobic or a little bit too damp? I've got some carbon standing at the ready in case I find those situations. And I just want to see what the worms did with what I consider to be a risky feeding. All right, I see lots of moisture here. I'll just move the paper next door, the bubble wrap and the paper. Ooh, there's a worm on it. Off you go. So there we go. I'm moving that next door. It's going to Peekaboo, so don't worry. All right, so some of the things I'm seeing, other than our friendly Mr. Pillbugs, I see 3 of them right off the bat. I see some new castings on the surface, which is nice to see. I think this puffier end is where I fed. It's still a bit high. So let's just see whether I'm in an overfeeding problem here. Now, the paper on the top was damp. Oh, but look at this. I've still got dry carbon here. So that's actually amazing. Dry carbon. So, you know, avocado is not a moist feeding. But the food scraps were moist. They didn't totally moisten that carbon. I didn't pre-moisten it because, again, I was worried about it being an overfeeding situation. And so I'm just looking in here. The worms are active in this material. Remember, I did a half harvest on Peekaboo, or I'm sorry, on Eat My Shorts not that long ago. I'll put this blend material back in the zone. So there's a lot of castings in here from before mixed into this feeding zone. I'm surprised that this carbon still looks very, very dry, but that's almost a good sign that the overfeeding didn't happen. Here's one of the avocados that was featured in the avocado movie, still not cleaned out, still a worm party going on. Wow. You know, if you wanted to get breeding up in a bin, avocados, look at that. Not going to disturb those babies, worms. I just want them to keep doing what they're doing in the avocado. So let me turn this over. It's hard with the waistband here of the shorts to get a sense, but because that carbon wasn't even wet, oh, here definitely. Oh, the other avocado, I felt heaviness and I went, oh, this must be the feeding zone. Well, it's the old feeding zone. It was the other avocado, still not finished. Again, not going to disturb that. I know I put the food in between the 2 avocados. The food is gone. It did, oops, sorry guys, I kind of tipped you a little bit. It did not overly moisten that carbon. So I think we're okay. So there's a check-in after 3 days after a feeding, despite there being active food still in the bin. I gave them another feeding. And so I just decided just to check in, just to make sure they're not anaerobic, just to make sure it's not a puddle. All right, everyone, bye for now.